Yeah, good morning, children. Today, let's just start our lesson. This is chapter 9 of our science reflection of light. Till now, we have done the activities. Let we relate those activities and learn in detail our lesson. Let's go with the text page number 82, reflection of light. In class 6, you saw how shadows are formed. You observed that the shape of the shadow changes according to the position of the source of light and position of the object. You drew shadows of some objects and you notice that the rays of light travel in straight line by the observation of shapes of the shadows. So no children, you have done the activities? Yes? You kept some of the objects in sunlight and you observed the shadows of those objects which were formed. Yes? Let's see in detail. Light and shadows. See, formation of shadows. When a source of light is focused on an object, when that object causes an obstruction, then a shadow is formed. That object is opaque body. If an opaque body is placed in the path of the light cannot pass through it. Then shadow of that object is formed. If an opaque object casts a dark shadow, that opaque object casts a dark shadow, but a translucent object casts a faint shadow, and a transparent object casts no shadow at all. The three types of objects we have: opaque, translucent, and transparent, that we studied in 6th class. That opaque body doesn't allow any light to pass through it, so it can form dark shadow. A translucent object, it allows some of the light to pass through it, so it casts a faint shadow. But a transparent object, it completely passes the light through it, so it can't form any shadow. This is how shadows are formed. You could see here, children, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the late afternoon, how the sun rays changes the direction. Based on that, the shadow of the tree formation also took place based on the direction of sunlight. Even a human being, if you take, same in the morning, afternoon, and late afternoon, you could see the shadow formation, how it is formed based on the time. How a shadow is formed when the shadows are when the shadows are formed, we could see that the light rays are blocked by the object. That means shadows are the places where light is blocked. The light rays are not allowed to pass through that object. That place where it is not passing the light, where it is not making the light to fall, there an object forms a shadow. Now, you came to know that when light falls on an object, it will be reflected by the surface of that object. And if that reflected light reaches our eyes, we can see that object. If not, we could not see. Isn't or not? Let's see. How do we see things? When the light passing on the tree, when it is falling on it, it reflects that light onto our eyes. Then we could see the object. Then only we could see that tree. See here, sunlight falls on the flower. Then what is that flower is doing? The flower reflects sunlight in all directions. When in that direction, when we are standing, then that sunlight is reflected by flowers enters our eyes. Then our eyes can see that object, that the flower. Okay, due to reflection of light, then we could see objects around us. In this class, we try to learn more about reflection of light. When will you be able to see clear images of yourself in a plain mirror? Will you be able to see your image in a mirror if the mirror is in front of you in a dark room? No, not at all. You have done this also. Yes, this activity also you have done. In the dark room, we could not see our image in a mirror, but when a light is provided, we could see our image in the mirror. Now let us do the activity 1. Point a torch towards the mirror so that its light falls on the mirror which you hold up as shown in figure 1a, and try to see your image in the mirror. When we focus light onto the mirror, can we see our image? Let's see. Again, one more. Then turn the torch towards your face as shown in figure 1b and see your image in the mirror. In which case, Is your image clear, children? You will find that when light is focused on your face, you can see your image clearly in the mirror. But when light is focused onto the mirror, you can't see your image in the mirror. Why? Why? Because when light is focused onto the face, the light is reflected onto the mirror. Then that allows that face to be shown in the mirror. Okay. Mirror completely making us to look our image in that. But when we show light onto the mirror, we could not see our image clearly. We could see a dim image. You also notice that when light is focused on the mirror, you find a dim image of your face in the mirror. Why does it happen so? Think here. We already know that to see any object, light should fall on it, isn't or not? When light falls on our face, then only we could see our image in the mirror. If it doesn't fall on our face, how could we see? In daytime, we are able to see all objects which are in our room, even though sunlight does not fall directly on those objects. Yes, how is it possible? The multiple reflection of sunlight from surfaces like wall, floor, ceiling, etc. finally falls on the object and gets reflected by it and reaches us. This enables us to see the object. So what is happening? The multiple reflection of sunlight from surfaces like wall, floor, ceiling make us to see the objects around us. Imagine that your friend sat in the middle of the room. Estimate how many times reflection of sunlight should take place to finally fall on your friend. If your friend is in the middle of the room, sunlight first should fall onto the terrace. It should reflect to the walls around, completely downstairs it should reflect, and into the room, walls, ceiling, everything it should reflect and should fall onto your friend. Then your friend reflects the light, then we could notice your friend. This is how light will be reflected, and that helps us to notice an object. Sunlight may not directly fall onto an object, but indirectly when the light is reflected we could notice the objects. How light reflects after striking an object. We need to understand about light rays to know how light is reflected after striking an object. Okay, now let us go with rays of light. Let us do this activity 2. Take a mirror strip and a black paper as shown in figure 2a. Cover the mirror strip with black paper and cut a 1 mm wide slit in the black paper as shown in figure 2b. Could see, children. Hold the mirror strip with the slit facing the sun as shown in figure 2c. You will see some light coming through the slit. Let this light fall on a sheet of paper spread on the ground. Light coming from such a slit or any other small hole looks like a ray of light. Okay, this is how ray of light can be noticed. We shall use this mirror strip covered with the slit of black paper in the following experiments. So it's not a waste of, we could use it in other experiments. Let's go with. Let us observe how the ray of light reflects. Let us do this activity 3. Place a blank sheet of paper on the ground such that part of it is in the sunlight and other part of it is in the shadow. Next, hold the mirror strip with the slit facing the sun. The mirror strip which was covered with the paper, that we have to take now, facing the mirror strip to the sunlight where we have the slit. Let the ray of light from the slit fall on the paper. Now take another mirror strip and place it in the path of this light ray such that the ray coming from first mirror falls on the second mirror. First mirror, the slit. Yes, with the slit. From the slit where whatever the light it is coming, let it fall on the another mirror strip. Okay. What do you observe? Did you see any other ray of light apart from the one from the mirror slit on the paper? Yes, we could see another ray also forming. So now children, this mirror reflecting, then the other mirror which is getting that ray of light from that first mirror, this also reflects. This effect of mirror strip on the ray of light is called reflection. The ray of light falling on the mirror is called incident ray, and the ray returning from it is called as reflected ray. Okay, the one which is incident, which was shown onto the mirror was incident ray, and then which is given out from the mirror was reflected ray. Okay, this is about today's topic. In the next topic, we go with the laws of reflection.